They're broken down and defeated, detergent, busy and confused, sleeping. You're dying while I wait you to get started on the journey chosen, wasted, now it's selected. I was so bad, what happened? Fall out of the sky and crush me in my smile. I was so bad, what happened? Fall out of the sky and crush me in my smile. Sober, sad and jaded. They're not coming, they're broken down and defeated. You are dying while I wait you to get started. You are dying while I wait you to get started. I was so bad, what happened? Fall out of the sky, yeah. Crush me in my smile. I was so bad, what happened? Fall out of the sky and crush me in my smile.
I'm a motherfucking unicorn, a one-of-one. The vibe being the love and light, the enlightened one. My karma is interstellar, I live by truth. Fighting evil, my scars are living proof. Protecting you from the storms with all my might. Love me, I will treat you right. You ever cross me, it's the last thing you'll ever do. With my crown of thorns, I'll wreck you. I ain't playing, yo, Reinhardt, call me a saint. Too bad, Chris, because Bigfoot knows my name. I'm a messenger of God, with loyalty I serve, taking out all evil with his holy word. A true Knights Templar, sword in hand, slice you up, bury you in the sand. I'm a motherfucking unicorn, you'll never find anyone like me. Born in the Bronx, raised in NYC, so listen up, take heed. I float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. A true Knights Templar, sword in hand, slice you up, bury you in the sand. I'm a motherfucking unicorn, you'll never find anyone like me. Born in the Bronx, raised in NYC, so listen up, take heed. I float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Holy Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our protection against the wickedness and snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray. And do thou, O Prince of the heavenly hosts, by the power of God, thrust into hell Satan and all the other evil spirits who prowl through the world, seeking the ruin of souls. Amen and amen.
And amen it is. It's like I feel like I'm on a Sunday morning like preaching show, and I'm just gonna bring Mark in here too. Mark, welcome. And he has clothes on, folks.
Yeah.
Hey JV, thanks for coming in. I didn't post it yet, but yeah, I always like the Holy St. Michael prayer. It's a good thing to do protection wise. Not that we need protection in this episode.
You never know.
You know what, Mark? I agree with you. You never know. It's Donny Cho, and Donny is a wonderful individual. I was on his show recently. He did his whole song that was just freaking fantastic on one of the episodes, and I was just happy that we're in a pinch because of all the craziness going on. You having a heart attack? Thank God you're here. Hope you're feeling better. Are you feeling better? Sort of.
I'm getting there.
Yeah. It takes time.
Yeah, it takes time. I'm all right. I appreciate crypto and some of the other people in chat asking it. So it's just I'm trying to answer the question as best as I can. It's like hopefully it's the first and last time I have to deal with it. So just
it's a tough thing to deal with. I mean, like I had it on my bingo card, but I was 10 years too early. So what is the phrase? Man makes plans and God laughs.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it just takes time, and it's like, are you still in the realization like, holy shit, I just almost died, and you're like trying to figure it out at that point? Because I was like that for a day or two, or stuck in a hospital.
Yeah. Then you throw the flood in there, and it's kind of like wonder, like where's the I really need to see the rainbow at the end of this disaster. But
there will be a rainbow. We've had those discussions, and it's a total like you have to change your ways. You're doing too much for others and not for yourself. And as like three people who read cards that don't know each other, I'm trying to get them as guests on the show that I follow. They said of me, they said, Brian, you fill everybody's cup but your own. So you got look at this huge prayers, and he had a flood and then he had a heart attack. I mean, come on, walk it off. Remember those days way back when? It's like, oh my God, he just got impaled by the rake. Pick yourself up and walk it off. Okay, that's what it was like growing up. But
I feel safer drinking out of the garden hose than having a house full of all these bottled waters, because I'm the pipeline break up the street there sent more mud throughout the house.
Yeah, it wasn't a good thing there. But we're going to change that with you anyhow. So we have a lot of guests, and I mean, we got Donny coming in a couple of seconds here, but I just think I want to go through and say hello to Crypto Sunshine, Oklahoma Nana. God bless you being here. This lovely, wonderful woman who makes incredible gifts, and I'm trying to get you on the show, but I know you're busy with the grandkids, and I want you coming on. So we'll talk. I'll text you or call you. John, good to see you. I don't know if you moved out of the Northeast or you're still there or what the deal is, but I was sending some stuff about there's a couple earthquakes in New Hampshire, I think Concord, and then also in Maine last week. I believe it was last week. We have Mark Eddy, and that guy's a pain in the ass. Pulse Paranormal is here. Check them out on YouTube. And the one and only Bigfoot Michigan Rob. Look at this beard right now. I think I am going to Tex categories right now. Tex has that big beard, except I do dye it a little bit. Sorry, Nana. I know that was the one thing she's adamant on. We did this show on the Three Beards about the gray in Craig's beard. I mean, like, just for Craig would be his. And I got 12 separate messages from all of the ladies, and they say, don't you dare touch that salt and pepper, which is really, actually, it makes you feel good. So we got Michelle. I'm sorry, I'm gonna Wolfong. Welcome to the broadcast right there, Michelle. Roger Blair is here. I'm going through it real quick. Our one and only friend Michelle Brandenburg, Psychic and Paranormal Network. She's going to be on actually at the end of October, and we're probably going to do some psychic stuff and just before the big Halloween, which is going to be interesting. Of course, we have adventures with Beth, although we'll just call her Beth. Hi, Beth. Yeah. What's going to be great is I hope a lot of you are going to be at the upcoming conference, which is also partially sponsored by the gentleman we're going to bring in. I'm going to bring him in right now. Hello, JV from Paranormal Newfoundland Podcast and Boots on the Ground team. And let me just bring you in. This is Donny Cho. This guy is the shit. The man.
Hi.
The lower,
Hey, Donnie.
corner.
Hey.
Yeah, let's do it this way so then we can use the proper boom. This way Donnie gets center stage. I'd like Donny Cho for the block. And just because you were coming on and my nephews are part Korean, I did this for you.
Welcome to Third Eye Live Donny Cho.
Oh, nice.
What did it say? Please tell me it said the same thing.
Welcome to Third Eye Live, Donny Cho, but in a very thick Korean accent, but it was done in English.
Hoi.
Yeah.
Hoi. Yes. That's like my brother's in-laws.
Yeah.
John. And a lot of that he has the thick accent. Not like, whoever the supreme leader is now over there. Donny Cho does say stuff.
I mean,
do. Yeah, I was really surprised when that is Donny Cho's show. Let me put on my scrolling banner so people can see stuff. It'll go there. And you can catch Donny Cho's YouTube, youtube.com/Donny Cho says stuff. Like, subscribe, share. It makes a great upcoming, I don't know, Christmas gift or something. Hey, Kelly, welcome.
I like to think of it as a good time.
It is a good time. It's actually fun. When I was on, Donnie had me on, and he did this whole video, and it was just awesome. It was a great song.
Yeah.
I thank you very much. I loved it. I was
You were on twice, actually.
Yeah, I was on twice, but that was great. Yeah. So I appreciate that. How are you doing these days?
Doing good, man. Doing pretty good. Get excited for the conference where we're going to meet in person. We're going to get to hang out.
Yes.
And we're going to get drunk together. That'll be fun.
Yes.
That'll be an experience.
Yes.
And then we're going to be in some haunted places together. That'll be cool.
Yeah. That's going to be great. I think it's going to be fantastic. Drum.
Yeah, my dog's here. He likes to crash shows.
I don't have my Labradoodle.
What's your dog's name?
Toby.
Okay.
Yeah, but his real name is Kunta Kinte, but I call him Toby.
I got that. If you're from a certain era, you got that. My name is Toby.
No, your name is Toby.
Yeah. And you know what? This is one of the fun things about it, because one of the things I love about you is you're real. I have friends of every race, creed, color. I have a couple extraterrestrial friends. No shit. These people are hybrids, and we all can make fun of each other and all make fun of each other's mom. It's just what we do. And it's a certain way of handling yourself. We don't get offended, by any of this stuff. So it's just fun getting with normal people. Hey, Val. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And while we're doing that, let's let's play the little promo, and then we'll get back to what we're talking about, if that's
Cool.
fine with you.
Sure.
Because I know BMR would like me to play it. I think he'd like me to play it, and I think
He's in there somewhere, right? He's in the
he
chat
is.
somewhere.
Here it is.
Crossing Realms Conference is coming this September 19th and 20th to the Eagleton Civic Center in Richmond, Missouri. Tickets to this landmark event are on sale right now at Eventbrite. The powerful speaker lineup will cover topics from Bigfoot, UFOs, and aliens, so you will not want to miss attending this amazing 2-day inaugural event. Again, that's the Crossing Realms Conference, this September 19th and 20th at the Eagleton Civic Center in Richmond, Missouri. Please mark your calendar and get your tickets before they vanish. Space is limited.
There we go. So, I mean, go get your tickets. This is going to be great. And the investigation, the meet and greet, I believe. Let me see if Rob knows. I know Krista knows. The ladies always know more than us. But I think we have a meet and greet Thursday, or is that the?
That's Friday.
That's Friday.
Thursday is the pre-party.
That's going to be fantastic.
That's the private pre-party.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Invitation only.
Yeah,
that's where the
VIP may not make it to Friday, but yeah, that's why I'm like, they're like, "Are you coming out for the pre?" I'm like, "I will be there."
That's the paranormal equivalent of the champagne room, Brian.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Come on out, take a trip. Go to Richmond, Missouri. Discover Richmond.
Yeah, and the place where we're going to be partying is haunted, like very haunted. So
yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
Are you going to do the God helmet thing?
Me? No, I'm not going to do that. Rob's going to do it, though.
I know.
We get to watch Rob do it.
Yeah, Rob is definitely going to do it.
And we're going to film him, and we're going to watch him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been to Missouri, Oklahoma, Nana. But if I mean, I have family that are Okies. My father's aunt, her dad was a legit, like, Old West sheriff. And then another one was her other uncle was a marshal, like the whole, 6-shooter and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to do that, but
just to give people a preview of an upcoming show, we will be covering Wild West stuff soon.
Yes, we will.
Cool. Yeah.
And Wild West. I think is it Jesse? Is it Jesse James?
That's correct.
And there is connection to secret societies. I would tell you, but it's a secret. So, but I started this is really interesting. So we're going through, and anybody who would like to be a guest on Third Eye Live, you can email us at markeddie.hot69. No, that's the other email address. Third Eye Live Show at gmail.com. It's scrolling at the bottom after the tickets, and you can go email us and say, "Hey, I want to be a guest on your show." I'm getting the solicitations right now. Do you get those? Do you get like random people like, "Hey, I want to be a guest on your show"?
Well, the thing is, I don't do guests very often. When I do get guests, they're usually people who are very special to me, like you.
Oh, I appreciate that. You're special to me, and I know it was last minute when I asked you, and I do appreciate you being here. Otherwise, it's going to be me and Mark playing Go Fish.
Oh, that could have been an episode.
That could have been
some content out of that.
Camera or something like that. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
We have some people that come out like, I'm a psychic, I'm this, I'm that. I'm like, okay, I'll keep you in the Rolodex. I said that to someone once, and they go, "What is that?" It's like a watch, like a Rolex. And I'm like, oh my God. And then I replied back, "When were you born?" And they said 2000. I'm like, go away. No, joking. I have no problems with it. Hey, Poncho.
How about the people who are standing in the valley, and they take a photo of a car on top of a hill, it's kind of like getting ready to make a turn, and they're saying, "Oh, the two orbs are getting ready to descend." You know,
Right.
I need
Oh,
to be a
yeah.
guest on your show to talk
Oh,
about
yes.
this groundbreaking new evidence. Like, oh my
Yes.
gosh.
Yes. Yes.
Groundbreaking new evidence. Actually, you're thinking of that, and that reminded me of something that I actually have. I'm going to share with you guys. I'm just going to add it to the screen in a second. I have to go move it from one thing to another in order to get it there. I have a definitive proof, the best evidence you'll ever get of a Bigfoot and a Dogman together
Mm-hmm.
with the Mothman flying overhead. It is the best evidence you'll see, and I'm really surprised. I didn't publish it. I was gonna save it for the conference, but I'm gonna share it here right now. And you'll see it right here. It just came up. So the Bigfoot, you can see it clearly on the
Oh,
left, and then the Mothman's up top. I mean, how can you miss his eyes? But the Dogman's a little bit smaller. I think he's hesitant to come out because the Dogman and Bigfoot, they really,
Is Dogman's name Toby?
no, that's I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna stop right now. Mark, don't get me started. People won't understand that.
I got to thank you for including the red circles because without those red circles, I would have missed it. But
You see? Well, actually, that's a
thankfully,
shirt I have, and
thanks to those red circles, I am now enlightened.
yeah. I mean, I have another one, another version of it with it at a campfire. And I could, I'll bring that one in while I'm at it. But it's a shirt that I created because I'm so tired of all this evidence where people are
Yeah.
circling blob shit. And dude, can't you see it's 12 big men in those trees? No, no, no. It's
Man,
no.
I really hate those conversations, man, when people be coming up to me with those kinds of photos and they
Yeah.
don't include the red circles. And now they're like, "Don't you see it?" And now you feel really awkward
Yeah,
because
like,
you don't want to come off like a dick being like, "I don't see it." You want to be
well,
polite, but at the
the
same time you don't
problem
want to
is,
lie. Yeah.
right, if you give them the truth and they're like, oh, dude, you just like you're blind. So the way you get around that is red circles for the win. I love that call.
Yeah.
Red circles for the win. So this I have the red circle one. I have it on a t-shirt. And I was thinking about just putting it on this and making this a t-shirt saying best cryptid evidence ever. And you could just say whatever you want it is, Bigfoot, Dogman, Mothman, UFOs, whatever. Yeah, everybody loves the red circles until,
Yep.
you
Yeah,
tell them like, what the hell are you thinking?
yeah. Donnie, have you ever dealt with someone that has a severe case of pareidolia? Like they might. I dealt with someone who had, like a small rock fall in the
Hmm.
woods behind her house, and there happened to be bumps towards the top of the rock, and they happen to be, just like uh, symmetrical
Hmm.
from each other. And she was convinced that that was proof that there was a sculpture, just due to the erosion on this rock, where the nose and
Oh, it was like some
mouth.
ancient civilization had carved it.
It was
Yeah.
Yeah.
her property was, um, like an outpost of Atlantis.
So let me ask you, Mark, did you have it did you have the heart to tell her or did you play along?
Um, I was like, yeah, I can see the eyes that you're talking about.
Hmm.
Not lit- uh, I'm not really convinced about the rest of the, like, statue. Like, where's the shoulder? Is it
Yeah.
like buried like the Moai in Easter Island? And I was trying to be polite about.
It's great. Sorry, Mark.
Yeah,
I just yeah.
yeah.
2 seconds. Danny had a greatest response ever. I see Ewoks and lizard men shapes in trees, but I smoke weed and eat mushrooms. God bless you. God bless you. That is awesome. But keep going.
Yeah,
Sorry.
she kind of doubled down on, but it's there. You just aren't so enlightened to see it like I am. And I was like, oh my gosh, what
It's
other
hard.
evidence is there
Mm-hmm.
other than this one rock?
Mm.
It's so some of these people are just really difficult to deal with.
Yeah.
You almost resent them for putting you in that position, right?
Hmm.
Like you almost resent them for it. Like now I have to be in this awkward position where I don't want to hurt this person's feelings, but at
And
the
you're
same
on
time
their
I don't want
property.
to. Yeah, I don't want to lie and say that I, see exactly. A few years back, I was talking to this one girl. She was, let's just say, she was half Swedish, half Palestinian. Uh, she was up there on the 10-point scale, if you know what I mean. But we were hanging out, we were flirting, but then she started bringing up the flat Earth, gentleman,
Oh,
and that
God.
she was convinced, wholeheartedly convinced of the flat Earth, and
Here,
that
take my
space is
pills.
fake.
Take my pills with you.
And you know what? I had to bite it, guys. I had to bite it. I had to play along because unfortunately, sometimes they're hot, and when they're hot,
But that
you kind
that
of have
falls in
to.
that falls and if you do the graph, you know the guy. You ever see the guy that does the graph?
Yeah,
The hot crazy zone. There's a zone that is perfect
yeah,
where they're just hot enough and they're just crazy enough where they're not. And then there's the super fucking crazy, but
yeah.
like blowing. You don't want to be in that zone.
Have you ever had a hottie come up to you with like a photo of clearly pareidolia with red circles, and then there's like a bushes, and then she's like, "There's Bigfoot's elbow. Do you see it?" At that point, if it's like a hot blonde, you're just like, "Yep, I totally see it. Yep, 100%,
Yeah,
a
100%.
1000%. Yeah,
There it is. Wow, it's bigger than a baby's arm. I can
yeah,
tell you right there. Um, you know, yeah, it's crazy.
yeah."
I've had that before, and the way I usually get around it is there's not enough evidence to give you a conclusion. Yeah, I agree with you about the cat thing, and I don't have
Yeah,
cats, but if the Earth was flat,
yeah.
cats would have knocked everything off of it, 100%. Uh,
See, for me, it's if it's my standard operating procedure is if it's a hot single female, I'm agreeing with everything she says 100% of the time.
it's a breeding thing.
Yeah.
It's a breeding thing. We want little Donny Chos running around.
Yes. Oh, do you see that? There's a dog man right here in the corner. Right behind his bush. You can see its eyelid. A
Yes,
thousand
I can.
percent. You've got the evidence. There's
There
a
it is,
smoking gun. Disclosure has been achieved. Thank you.
undisputable.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's worth it.
Yeah.
But so I call it the network. So it's Monica.
Oh, the
Brand.
island of misfit toys, as Tex would call us.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh,
Monica,
it's a Charlie
Tex,
in the book.
Rob,
Yeah.
the blondes and the booze, Krista
I
and
just
Brandy.
so
There
and
are two members of that group, by the way, Brian, that you have yet to interact with. That's Randy and Jason.
okay, so I've got to be introduced to Randy and Jason and figure out how like we'll get them on the show or whatever it is, and maybe you should have a round table. That wouldn't be a
I've been
bad
trying to get you with Jason, actually. I think you two would hit it off.
idea.
Randy,
Okay.
I'm not sure. He's more into like, by the way,
Yeah.
little quick plug and aside. I don't mean to step on any toes here, but
Right.
Donny Cho Says Stuff is not the only show that I do. I also do another show at this time on Wednesdays. Unfortunately, we do go head to head, but that doesn't mean you can't watch the replay of
No.
either one of our shows.
We get a lot of people that watch replays. I mean, I know there are a
Yeah.
couple other shows going on right now. I think
Yeah.
Lines of Booze is going on
That's
right
why
now.
that's why if I didn't have a show Wednesdays at this time, I would be in the chat all the time. Because I love being
You
in
know
the
what?
chat hanging out. But
Yeah.
Blondes of the Booze Wednesday nights, I do it with Brandy and Randy. We do the paranormal show and tell.
Yeah, that's the show. Yeah. I want to see it, but I have a show to do. You know what? It would be good to do is if you can get Randy you to throw me in the mix, and then I can just.
You
put
know
it to
what
my
we should
show
do
voice.
actually? Now that I realize that we've got this simul feed going on, we should just do a simultaneous show.
We can do that. We'll figure out a couple days, like maybe we'll throw it together. We'll plan at the conference.
We should just do a merged show.
That would be interesting.
Yes.
Yep, that would be. We're gonna get fucking banned, but that would be interesting because we're gonna go off the rails. I mean, hey Nathan from the Quantum Show, have you ever had Nathan on? I want to have Nathan on. I'm working on it. It's just there's so many different
Nathan from
things
the
going.
Quantum.
It's crazy. Oh, Fade to Black. Congratulations. That's Jimmy Church's. I know Jimmy. We talk music more than anything else. Oh, I love Blondes and Booze, and they were just on actually.
They're technically on right now.
Yeah, they are technically on right now. That'd be kind of cool to pull it in. Well, I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want them to get in trouble either. Both Donnie and I don't have the required minimum as far as the subscribers to worry about, any of that compensation or super chats or anything like just yet.
Well, for me, it's by design because I want to be able to cuss as much as I want on my show. Yeah. My show's a nonstop. It's just potty mouth city on my show.
You can curse on this show. It's not
okay. Great, awesome.
There's no fucking problems with it.
Perfection.
Mark curses like a bastard. Like
really? I don't think I've ever heard you curse once, Mark.
Yes.
Oh.
Well, the show's only been on for only 30 fucking minutes. Give me some time.
He's always such a gentleman, guys.
He is. He's really. There's Brian got a beeper. No, I don't have a beep. Do I have a beeper? I have a stalker, but I don't have a beeper. I have a couple of those. I have a couple people that are doing a little bit weird things. And I have another friend that just got their stalker reinstated somehow. They didn't even know. There we go. See, Rob owned the bar, and it was like, get the fuck out now.
Yeah, and yet his show's so PG and so everything's so clean and professional. And,
Buy my books, pray on Sunday. No, Rob is. I can tell Rob. If you own a bar, you're not like, please leave. Maybe the first time around, it's like, please leave, depending on who it is. But yeah, so yeah, we there it is. There he is. Yeah, with Donnie, we don't know where we're gonna go, and that's why what I wanted to do, and holy crap, look at this. What Danny Stanton says? You want some subs? And maybe it will help. A little come on, Brian Bender's Banters. Saturday night, I'm on a panel. She has like 150,000 people growing there. Holy crap! How long? Well, that sounds good. We'll get Donnie on there. I can go on. Mark can go on. Mark will get naked for you. It's very rare he's wearing clothing. You really don't want to do the video chat sometimes.
For those of you who don't know, Mark is currently bottomless.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, that's why I'm not going to stand up and answer the phone.
Yeah,
he's going to go commando. Yeah, I mean, we're getting to hockey season, so I'm definitely going to start drinking and cursing and whatever.
Yeah, and I think on what was the guy's name? Can't think of it, but yeah, they can talk about a mangina on the TV show or a movie, but not might be banned on YouTube.
Mangina?
Yeah.
Yeah, they get
banned if you're monetized, yeah, but if you're not monetized, you can pretty much.
What's the Rob Schneider movie with the gigolo?
something. Yeah, I know. So it's in the title. Something male gigolo. Yeah, we don't have
Bigelow.
Deuce Bigelow.
Deuce Bigelow, male gigolo. Yes.
Yep.
So I can't believe they kind of I just drew a blank on that for a second. As many times as I've seen it.
No, we all drew a blank. I did too.
I saw an old picture of all you guys together at some conference. I was just looking because when I do my banners, I want to get a specific kind of a headshot. Some people just put like, this or so I went in to look for the banner, and you have that really professional, like, honorable professional photo, which looks really nice and all, and you use it actually on your YouTube channel. But I wanted Donny Cho, the Johnny Cho I know, without the tie on and without going, thanks for calling blah, blah, blah agency. This is Johnny. How may I help you?
That's me all day. Yep.
No, we're not going to pay for that.
Yeah. That's the main reason. One of the main reasons why I do my show is because for my job, I have to speak professionally all the time.
Yep.
So for my show in my free time, I just want to be able to come on with people who, I like in this scene, this cryptid paranormal scene, and just be like, you know what, guys, fuck it. Let's just talk shit, And
he does. And it was fun. And you can, come on, we all curse. I mean, my grandparents never cursed, but my parents, like, many, many times.
Mm-hmm.
My youngest is like a fucking sailor. She's dropping F-bombs. She's smart and she knows what she's saying, and she comes up with some doozies. But you gotta go like, bring it down a little bit. Can't do that just yet.
That's why the first episode of my show, because people that know me in all these paranormal cryptid shows, so when it's time for me to premiere my first episode, I did my first episode on the topic of Bigfoot's penis. And then I wound up doing an entire series just on Bigfoot's dick. And here's why. Because one day, a few years back, I was just a lowly, random schmo in the chat rooms in this YouTube. It was a YouTube cryptid channel where they were having a roundtable discussion panel about Bigfoot, right? You might even know the guy, Brian. I'll tell you backstage. But one of the dudes on that panel happened to get drunk, and he just asked a simple question. Hey, have you guys had any reports of what Bigfoot's penis looks like? And you should have seen the people in the chat, Brian. There was this one lady who was like, oh, never get this man back on the show. This is obscene. This is serious talk. We cannot, the Bigfoot community does not have space for people like this. These type of people do not belong. And I'm like, oh, really? Well, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start my show, and I'm going to talk about nothing but Bigfoot's dick. I'm going to do presentations. I'm going to do a series. I've made several songs about Bigfoot's dick. I've brought actual evidence of his dick.
There's one
That's
guy.
That's what I'm going to do.
There's one crazy guy that's a former dog trainer or is a dog trainer out of New York who said his dad took out a Bigfoot and he had him frozen. And he showed the frozen penis. And then what he did was he defrosted the penis and he cooked it and he ate it.
Bigfoot's penis?
That's what he says. The guy's a little, he's real out there. Super out there. I mean, there was just a report not last summer, but the summer before last, up by Cape Canaveral. I investigated it.
Yep.
Of a male Bigfoot with a giant, a
giant hog.
Giant hog. And he went batshit crazy, but he had a big piece, and people were trying to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to now quit some of my apps because apparently my computer can't charge a freaking battery. So we're going to lower it a little bit. Set the mood lighting. And I have two things plugged into it, which is weird that it doesn't accept the charge like it should.
Donny, have you always had an interest in cryptids, or is this more of a new interest for you? How did you get involved in
By accident.
Bigfoot? Uh,
Pure accident. Pure accident. I was never into cryptids. It was 2017. I was 37. That's when I first had my first thought about the paranormal, really, where I was like, yo, I think ghosts might be real, right? Through that, I got interested in this whole community, if you want to use that word. Um, I initially was interested in the ghost phenomenon and psychic phenomena. That's what I got into it first. And then through that, I linked up with some Bigfoot, and I didn't even know or hear about Dogman until maybe 2019, 2018.
Yeah,
Like
roughly.
that was a foreign concept to me. And then when I first heard about Dogman, first mentioned, I was like, what the fuck? Werewolves are real all of a sudden? I didn't know about this. Like I'd always heard about Bigfoot, didn't give it much thought. And then, I hooked up with the Island of Misfit Toys, Tex and Rob and Jason and the Blondes and Randy, Monica and Paul. Paul's part of that too.
Yeah, Paul is part of it.
And then through that, so yeah, I'm one of those people that's in this community, but I never had a cryptid experience myself, nor was I ever interested in it, like throughout the earlier part of my life. So I was kind of suddenly thrust into it. So I guess I would like to say that I have a fresher perspective on the whole thing because I was new to it. I think that's why my show is so silly, because one of the things I noticed right away is that there's nobody in this community that's really kind of approaching it from the way I'm doing it, where it's not so much that you're making fun of it, but at the same time, there's a lot of comedy in this. There's a lot of potential for bits. And nobody's taking advantage of it at all. Everyone in the scene is too busy trying to be all serious or trying to come off as like super wise or virtuous. There's no one here. There are very few content creators here who are just like fuck it. Let's have a laugh. There's so many potentials. There's so much potential for jokes and bits and comedy. Yep. It's just like untapped.
There's something about the Patterson Gimlin film where it's like I don't know. Is this real? I don't have an explanation for it, but the amount of blurry photos used to try to as absolute proof that does start to border on the comedy that you're talking I don't know,
there's a
are
lot
there
of
little
potential.
kids in suits walking through the woods that someone's photographing them from 100 feet away? I mean, there needs to be more proof.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like Nathan there when things get way too serious. I'll say something really weird and they'll end up on a t-shirt or something.
Oh, there's Paranormal Paul.
Yeah, there he is. We just mentioned you, Paul. Welcome. Paranormal Among Us is the show. He's killing it. I was just on there. He was up at a lake and broadcasting from it. It was the best view I've ever seen as a guest. Besides everybody in the audience, it was great. And we did a little remote viewing, but they do a lot of like Bigfoot porn. It's pretty big, actually.
Yeah, I did an entire episode on that, Bigfoot erotica.
Yep,
I did a whole thing on that. Researched the scene. Hey guys, did you know there's this one Bigfoot erotica author who's pulling in about $30,000 a month just on her Bigfoot erotica books? It's like a 10-part series, kind of like Twilight, but it's like all raunchy. $30,000 a month in sales online, self-publishing. $30,000 a month.
Brian, you think I ought to switch topics?
We may have to go to Bigfoot erotica.
I didn't realize before I started getting into like researching this topic, I didn't realize they sold so well. But then Brandy and Crystal were telling me that they were at this one conference, and one of the tables across from them was like this lady who had all these Bigfoot romance novels. Not quite raunchy like erotica, but they were Bigfoot romance novels. And they were telling me there were a bunch of people buying those books at the conference.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that
Yeah.
are yeah, they're doing that kind of stuff. Bigfoot erotica.
They make
I mean-
they make big money though if you get it going on.
I'm not really going to read Bigfoot erotica. That's you know,
Just
I
get
would-
AI to write it for you, man, and just
could-
just publish it.
I would just love to see what the Bigfoot porn is like. You know, like they say you're big, and then all of a sudden, like the girl's face, like, oh my god, you know, and the next thing you
No,
know,
I already started my book. I already started writing my Bigfoot erotica book. I'm going to try now when I found those novels,
That's-
or when I
why
found those
not?
figures. Yeah, it's called Balls Deep in Bigfoot, an erotic novella. Yeah,
you should totally take the erotic novella and then script it out and have certain little promos that are AI video generated. You
Yeah.
know, so they can see, and just before, you know, you get to that money shot or whatever they say, go buy the book from.
and hopefully we can, get some people in Hollywood maybe to check it out. Maybe we get the film rights to it.
That's it. I mean, I don't think,
Get the film rights out there.
E.T.
Balls
blow
deep in
home.
Bigfoot. Yeah.
I'm waiting for, like, the Dogman thing was really new. I didn't believe in it initially, and then a lot of weird things happened. I was like, oh shit, they're real. But I gotta ask you something. In your culture,
Mm-hmm.
growing up the way you did, because I know part of it, because I have, half Caucasian, white, and half Korean. I think mixed children are the most beautiful children on the planet. They get the best of both worlds. Are there psychics within Korea or Korean psychics? Because I don't think I've ever seen one.
They don't. They have shamans, but they don't have psychics.
So
But because the psychics, the people who are out and out psychics, they usually go into shamanism.
Oh, so is it because of acceptability? Like they were like, they don't accept like, oh, that guy's a psychic. But if you're a
Right.
shaman,
Yeah. If you're a
palatable.
shaman and you got all this tradition behind it, and you got the clothes and the music, and then you're
Right.
doing, it as a job, people accept you. But if you're like a regular dude with like a 9 to 5 who lives in an apartment and it goes around claiming to be a psychic, people are going to think you're nuts.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it depends. And just, those some of those people that my regular, that's my day. I'm a psychic. I talk on the phone or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And some people get paid a lot of money to do it every day. I can tell you that I do have those abilities. I couldn't do it every day.
Right.
I thought going to work was draining because I worked finance,
Mhm.
big companies, broker dealers at one point, and you got to get there really early. And then by the time the end of the day comes, you're like, oh God, this day can't end fast enough.
Hmm.
When you're tapping into something or someone, after a while, it's just like, it just sucks something out of you. A lot of people call it a paranormal hangover.
Mhm.
That feeling of like, oh. So you need like 24 hours in between to kind of recharge your batteries,
Hmm.
and get it going. But I was just wondering it because some cultures, they don't have, I guess they have more shaman than psychics. Well, more shaman, people being called a shaman than a psychic or something to that effect.
Yeah.
That's probably
And-
more accepted around the world because it's political, health, religious leaders all kind of rolled into one. It's just been around for a long time, thousands of years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna respond. I was gonna respond back to Nathan, who said it's like breathing second nature. No, it's not like work for me. It's very simple to do. I actually been using it. I use it every day in certain capacities.
Hmm.
I'm always on, but I'm not gonna read you unless you give me permission.
Hmm.
And I said before, the only individuals I read are my daughters and their friends, because I have to, because of having daughters, I have to watch out for every penis, including Bigfoot's. Whereas if you're a son, if they were sons, I only have to worry about 2 of them, but they're not, and they're too young, and I just have to know that they're going to be okay with what they do. I'm talking about like a lot of the work I do actually winds up, getting people to not take their life, and somehow they fall on my lap, and I'm on the phone with them, and one woman was so distraught out of Canada. She missed the love of her life, her second husband, and her young, her daughter passed away from cancer. Her husband died from cancer. She was lost, and she was thinking about ending it to get to him quicker, and it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
God doesn't work that way. If you do something like that and you think you're going to get back what you have, no, it's going to take twice as long, because then you have to come back, be reincarnated, and go through the path you're supposed to go to.
Yeah.
And it's going to be miserable the second time around. Just follow your path. You will eventually be reunited. And I rather, if you're like 60, 70 years old and you have like a 90-year lifespan, that's a hell of a lot shorter than starting at go. It is, coming out of the, your mother going, oh crap, I got to do this all over again.
Yeah.
For 90 years, I think but it's easier. What's hard for me or draining is kind of blocking people that are sending out signals that, even though like, no, I don't want to read you. I don't want to read you. I don't want to read you. But sometimes the way it works for me, if their signal is so overpowering, I can't help but read them. It's like everything I've tried, I'm like, okay, apparently I'm supposed to read this person. And yeah. But would you want like do you believe you have any psychic abilities or?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I often tell people that I'm actually the most powerful psychic in the paranormal cryptid community.
Really? How?
And this is something I've said several times on my show and other people's show, that I am indeed, if you were to ask who is the most powerful, because we know a lot of psychics. There's a lot of psychics that run in our circles, right?
Right.
Yeah, and I'm the most powerful one. And I'll tell you why. Because I am the only one who's a big of a dick enough to actually go out in public and claim to be the most powerful psychic. Because every other psychic is way too modest to say, nah, Donny Cho, I'm more powerful than you. There is no psychic like that, because everyone's just got too much modesty. No one's like a dick like I am. So therefore, I win.
Yeah, but
I'm the champion.
Is it being a dick, or is it just being very confident?
It's because I'm the only one with the balls to make the claim.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't tell people for a while because I didn't want to come off as a fraud.
Yeah.
So I didn't.
No, well, when people ask me like, what kind of psychic abilities do you have? Can you like remote view? I'm like, no, I can't see that. I can't do that. Can you do you have clear audio? Can you see ghosts? Are you medium? I can't do any of that. But there's different types of psychics, There's different types. I read somewhere there's like 120 something different types of psychic abilities, right? It's like numerous, right?
That. So I had no idea. I mean, people are so big on titles now.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I have, and they go through the clairescent, clair audio,
Claire Danes.
Yeah. Clairol for hair. I think people make things bigger than they are, or make things up to make it bigger than they are.
Yeah.
Kind of like one up on everybody.
Can I tell you what my psychic ability is?
Yeah.
What's that?
I can defeat ghosts. Like I can damage them.
And we're going to put them
and the way I do it though is through invisible fireballs out of my hands, like Street Fighter, but they're invisible, so you can't see them. So
you get a
fatality.
Yeah, like Street Fighter.
Yeah,
I'm like Ryu up in this bitch, man.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
we'll find out.
Now people may question me. They may be like, "How do you know you can do that?" My question to you, my retort is, Do you see any ghosts around me right now? I rest my
See?
case.
Good
There you
point.
go.
Yeah. And
And
they're
it-
like,
and you
well, I don't
can't
buy it.
argue it.
Yeah, and they're like, but they're invisible. I don't buy it. I'm like, well, if they were regular fireballs, it would be less impressive, because the fireballs have to go affect the ghosts in their dimension. If I had regular fireballs, who cares about that? That just
Right.
affects the physical world. So therefore, I win.
You do. And
Yeah.
then you get the
Fatality.
Yep.
yeah.
Tony, do you think there's a difference between the ghost world that you were just talking about and um
Like this world, like
what
physical material.
what about the something like The Exorcist? It, the- is there a do you think there's a different that might be more of like a like demonic world, but is that different from you know the ghosts? I just kind of wondered, where's the crossover? Is there a similarity? Is that even part of like a culture, like part of the cultural traits that you came out of? What are your views on
Like
like
something like demons.
yeah, like what you see at the last quarter of the Exorcist movie?
Okay, so I wouldn't call it so much a world, like a realm. Like people like to think of it as like almost like a parallel universe, almost, where you have like the veil, right? You hear
Right.
that
Right.
word being thrown around.
Yep.
Rather than think of it as separate worlds, I like to think of it more as like layers of reality. So for me, the model that I use to kind of frame this whole thing is video games. Okay, so basically the idea is, like with a video game or any kind of software, there's going to be layers, there's going to be levels, right? There's
Right.
the level that you see on the screen right before you that you interact with. But on a deeper level, right, there's all that underlying program that you have. Unless you're a programmer, you have no idea how to comprehend, but it's there and it's operating all this. We know it's there, but our brains, because we're not programmers or software engineers, we have no way of wrapping our minds around that coding, right? We don't know what that means. That looks like all gibberish, right? This StreamYard right now, if you look at all the code that goes behind this StreamYard, it's all gibberish, right?
Yeah.
Right? That's like a different layer. And there's an even deeper layer there, because once you go to a deeper layer, then you got like operating systems, you got zeros and ones, binary, right? And you can, so people would think of those different layers as different worlds or different aspects, but what it actually is, it's a different reality is an onion, right? And our brains are the way our minds are set up. Our consciousness is only able to comprehend certain levels of it, but there are other levels we can't interact with or it can't interface with, right? Same way that visually we can't pick up like infrared, right, without special equipment, or ultraviolet without special equipment, right? It's kind of the same idea. So going back to your earlier question, Mark, about possessions and things like The Exorcist, yeah, I think those kinds of phenomena and ghosts and other things like the Fae, for example, might just be part of this reality normally. They just interact with different layers, different levels.
Are they I'm going to use the term NPCs, non-playable characters, and then just have a script they run, or are they playable characters that interact?
Or you could think of it like this. Imagine if this reality is like a computer game that you're running on your computer.
Yep.
But then those entities and those spirits could be like a computer virus that's affecting your computer, that's messing around with your software, which is having actual results on what you see on the screen.
Did you ever hear of the DMT experiment with the laser?
I know of DMT. I don't know about the experiment with the laser.
Okay, so they give some people DMT,
Mhm.
and then they project a laser line or beam on a wall, and people go really close to it, and they see what they see as code, and it's moving.
Mm.
And it's been repeated over and over and over and over again. And that's some people saying that this is why we're in a matrix type of
Yeah.
you know, atmosphere. We are the matrix.
So,
But why would it take DMT to see it?
well, I mean, you could go into the whole idea of what DMT actually is and how it works and how ayahuasca works. Is that it's not, unlike other drugs, it's not adding something to your brain. What psychedelics are doing is they're turning off certain filters,
Right.
right?
Yeah, they turn it. Yeah.
Whereas other substances would actually introduce, right, a certain
Right.
substance or add a substance to your brain that would affect the brain's chemistry. But they say certain psychedelics will actually shut things off, and that's how they get their hallucinogenic effects. We're turning off, because that's what DMT is, right? Or ayahuasca, because they're the same molecule, right?
Right. Because you're making
Yeah.
it. Well, you make it internally anyhow.
Yeah,
But enhancing it allows you to have an experience without the filter. Yeah, it's all without
yeah.
filter.
Well, it's all about bypassing the enzymes in your body that are, because normally you're right, Brian, because our bodies naturally produce it, and we have enzymes in our gut that break it down. That's why there's DMT in like every plant, but the only reason why we're not tripping our balls off every time we eat a salad is because we got the enzymes that break it down. What ayahuasca is, it's the DMT molecule, but a lot of it is like those enzyme inhibitors that stop them from working.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah.
when you take ayahuasca,
Yeah,
you ingest it, but you have to throw it back up.
yeah,
It's kind of like morning glory seeds. Mind you, I'm not promoting drug use at all to anybody.
no,
Consult your doctor about these things. There's no medical or professional advice being given here, but I'm just telling you, like orange sunshine, they would be they're seeds, and you consume them, and just you give it a couple of moments to kind of get broken down, and then you induce vomiting, and then that's when you start tripping.
yeah.
But there's a big difference between, like, DMT is instantaneous and it's a shorter duration. I mean, it's super short. There's I think it's a 15-minute experience.
Yeah. I had my best friend growing up. He told me this crazy story a few years back. He was doing DMT. Now, he was involved in the EDM, electronic dance music scene. He was like a big DJ, going to raves and that kind of stuff. And he had a bunch of his EDM friends. One day they had a rooftop party. Real smart place to be doing DMT, by the way.
No.
And his good friend, who was another like well-known DJ in electronic dance music, think like dubstep and all that stuff. They did DMT together, and this guy, according to my friend, he looked all wide-eyed. He flipped out, he looked really scared. He ran out, and nobody was able to find him. He disappeared. People were calling him.
Right.
People were searching for him. No one could find him, and he just kind of fell off. He didn't call anyone back. They eventually figured out he was okay, but this guy cut off all communication. Nobody heard from him. A few years later, they somehow run back into him, or he comes out and says hello. The guy had become a Catholic priest. He gave up everything, went into the seminary, and became a Catholic priest.
So I just found out right here, apparently DMT is legal. Or is it DMT or ayahuasca, JV, in Canada? Oh, Canada. Yeah, shrooms will do it too. But DMT, the way it gets you to a certain place. Everybody that has a DMT trip or experience describes a gatekeeper.
They describe seeing beings, yeah.
Right, and they use it, and a lot of people use DMT to overcome certain, like, why is my life this way? What am I not doing right? Whatever. You have this interaction with the Joker or a being or something else. Someone had it like a triangle riding a bicycle, and it was a weird guy. And basically you're confronting yourself and your consciousness, and you realize I'm wasting my time with this. This is my true destination. Kind of opens it up like a portal.
Mhm.
Yep, like a portal. I was just there. You go, for your consciousness, and you get true results back. And when you're finished with it, I'm from what I understand. I mean, 9 out of 10 people are. It has changed their life for the better by utilizing it and using it as a point of reference and healing. There was one gentleman I don't know, I forgot who I was talking to about this. And he kept taking it and meeting the gatekeeper that lets you into this weird, wacky world where all the strange stuff happens. But you're not supposed to just go and stare at them. You're supposed to ask questions. And that's the whole thing. And when he didn't ask questions at one point, I know there's a series on Netflix about psychedelics. It's actually really interesting, really, really interesting. But because he didn't answer questions, he went there one time and they said, "You're a fucking idiot. You're not coming on. You're done. You will never get here again." And he could never get, no matter how much he took, he could never get to that point. And that voice you heard wasn't a ghost. It was a 13-year-old yelling at our doodle, our Australian Labradoodle. Oh,
So, we could kind of tie like Brian's recounting with what you were talking about earlier with the shaman. Maybe that's why they're such highly prized members of the community. Is they're maybe the only ones allowed by the culture to take these drinks, but they're interpreting things correctly. It's I don't know. You just kind of wondered, like some of the magico religious type ceremonies, and your friend that became a priest. Is there some kind of
Well, that
connection
one,
there?
yeah, that was smoking DMT. That was more like taking the traditional medicine and turning it into a party drug, essentially.
yeah.
They were treating it like a party drug. They weren't treating it like, the proper traditional ceremonial aspects of it with like those ayahuasqueros over in Peru. That's a different thing altogether. I mean, I read about them. I knew a guy who actually did that as well. That's something that's on my bucket list, actually, to actually go with an actual trained shaman. But you want to go with the shamans, right? Because they have a tradition of it, so they have a culture behind it. They can be trusted, supposedly.
There's a place in
they're
Central
probably
Florida you can do it.
looked up to by the culture.
Yeah.
Oh, look what goes on in life, right? So we have all these distractions.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, you have people that care more about what someone thinks of them than actually, anything else. So you're beholden, you're strapped down left and right. And when you take, like, when these shaman used to take it to go to the higher plane and have the vision quest, what they're doing is they're stripping themselves of any type of calcification, anything that would, the noise.
Inhibition.
Yeah. And then they vibrate at a higher frequency where I think what they do is they do meet beings there. And I think they're in that ether where the Akash record is, where past, present, future happens. And this is why a lot of, if you get into the Native American folklore, they had a vision of, these metal horses coming, and they saw the trains coming because they at the Akash record, and they saw the future, and they saw the trains coming, they saw the soldiers coming, They saw Columbus coming across the sea, and they were able to see the event. And a lot of times when you used to take, someone mentioned acid in there, acid lasts way too long and it can get really bad. But sometimes you have these trips again because some of it somehow stores in your body, and then the next thing you know, you're tripping. You're like, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah.
If you do it long enough, you can kind of create pockets of this or be able to access that stuff at will. So now you're vibrating at a higher frequency. All this where you started at ground zero, that doesn't exist. You can't get back to it. You're now at level 3. So you're automatically ahead of the curve. But they've been right about it, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, in Central Florida, there is a it's legal. And there's a group from South America, and they own it's like an experience, a retreat, and they guide you through it. And there is a shaman there. So yeah,
I'd try that out.
I'll find the name. I've got the name of one of my
Have
friends.
you ever been tempted to try?
I'm not. Well, I don't want to throw up the ayahuasca, but yes.
Oh, yeah. You don't want to. Yeah.
I can tell you something. Here's something very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're a God-fearing person or you don't believe in it or whatever. And I don't want to get people pissed off. So you have your right to believe in whatever. But in the story, you know, where Moses is talking to God, the burning bush. Okay. The tree he's talking to that's on fire is the acacia tree.
Yeah.
And of all the trees in the world, the acacia tree has the highest concentration of DMT.
Yep.
So imagine he's really close to it, lots of smoke going into his lungs. Is he talking to God or is he having a vision quest?
Maybe both.
Yep.
Maybe that's what talking to God actually is.
Yeah.
There's some who believe it that way. Yeah.
Then you also get it, you know, about the same time in Moses's life, the UFOs that are
the
leading.
pillar of fire leading them to the desert. Yep.
Yep.
So, spoken to Brian about that, 2 times. Other than birds, what was flying at 3,500 BC, and there's like laser beams coming down underneath of it. So there's the gatekeeper or some beings that seem like they could be part of what this mystical experience. And Moses concludes the meeting with what actually seems like radiation burn.
Yeah,
pretty interesting.
And then there are all these weird rumors about the Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah,
supposedly showing emitting radiation and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's when you have authors writing about this stuff so long ago, what they see, like what's it's like I'm not trying to be sacrilegious, and it's just asking a question. This is some pretty weird stuff going on. What?
Yeah.
How do you explain this? What are they seeing? What are they telling us something that we're just realizing now about just say radiation?
That's a good question.
No, I'm just
I'd really like to know. Yeah,
it's
one of those things. Yeah,
Michael brought that up when he was a guest.
Yeah, I mean it's. I remember going to religious school, growing up because you had to go, whatever it is. And that's when, long before I heard about Chariots of the Gods or any of these things or, ancient aliens, I'm sitting there and I'm saying, because I was always into extraterrestrials and Bigfoot and whatever. I said, well, what happens if angels are really extraterrestrials or, And God's the leader of the extraterrestrials that come down and they have wings. It's not unheard of some of these in some of the lore, like especially in Samaria and all these other places, you know, the Anunnaki. I mean, one looks like an eagle, the other one, you have Anubis, we have all these crazy animal characters, but they have man features and or
Half human
yeah.
hybrids.
But what if an angel is, you know, it's not really an angel, it's an extraterrestrial. And they're here terraforming or I don't know, DNA planting, splitting, and doing what they're doing. You know,
I've
it's
got
crazy.
I got a pretty crazy theory actually. So,
Sure.
celestial bodies, right? Planets and stars. Okay. An argument can be made that, now hear me out on this, that the Earth itself is a living being, right? It's got
Right.
like a heartbeat, you know, like the core of the Earth, the way it rotates. That's kind of like its heart, right?
Right.
It's got its skin, the atmosphere, right? It's got its blood, like the magma. And the only reason why we don't, like, mainstream science doesn't consider it alive, because mainstream science has their own very, I guess, very specified definition of life. So they can't consider the possibility that something, just because it's not quote unquote biological, doesn't mean it's alive, right? Like, what if a star is
Right.
alive? Because if you look at the life cycle of a star, it very much seems like, if you didn't know any better, it would be alive, right? They're born, they live, they feed, they grow old, and then they die, and then they
They
become something
exhaust.
else,
Yeah.
right? So what if all these celestial bodies, like Jupiter and the Earth and the Sun, what if they were actually all living things? But because our perception's so limited that we can't accept that, we can't acknowledge that fact, right? There have been a couple of stories, connections about Jesus being connected to the sun,
Right.
right? Do you have the imagery of the halo? Certain esoteric circles will tie in Jesus with the sun.
Yep.
There was, as a matter of fact, there was this one famous UFO like encounter. I forgot the specifics, but it was like mentioned in like Astonishing Legends. It was like it was like this guy from like I think it was in California. He worked for like Lockheed Martin, and
Right.
he had like an abduction experience where he wasn't really abducted, he was invited on. And then when he came onto UFO, he was greeted by not the gray aliens, but the Nordic kind. You know,
Yeah.
the ones with the
Yeah.
blonde hair.
Yep.
And according to the story, one of the first things they said to him when he was on that craft, they said, by the way, in case you were wondering, Jesus is real. And the guy was like, okay. Like, he wasn't even thinking that, because his first thought is, holy shit, I'm on a fucking UFO right now, right? But then the
Yeah.
first thing those Nordics say is like, oh yeah, by the way, in case you're wondering, Jesus is a real guy. But here's the thing they said afterward. They said, in case you want to know, he's actually the Son. S-U-N. Like, he is the living consciousness of the Son,
Okay.
manifest in human form. So that story always stuck with me. I'm not saying I believe it or don't believe it, but that
Right.
story always stuck with me because there's always been other parallels with Jesus and the Son, right? So if Jesus is the Son of God as the Son, and if
Right.
the Son is a living thing, then what if the Milky Way galaxy is a living thing? Because galaxies go through life cycles too. You know, they have a supermassive black hole that kind of keeps everything together. Everything revolves around it. They're made up of dark matter, right? That's where
Yep.
we come up with dark matter, because mainstream science doesn't have a way of explaining why galaxies are shaped the way they are without dark matter, right? And if Jesus, as the Son, is a living thing, is a manifestation of the Son, then what if the God of the Bible is actually the living consciousness of the Milky Way galaxy?
I mean, it could easily be that. So I'm not denying it. But it's really funny that you
Yeah.
brought this up because this is something that came out today. So I had a conversation with a couple people. Do you ever hear of the WOW signal?
Yes, I am aware of the WOW signal.
Okay, so and I talked to Donnie about this in the beginning, and I said, did you hear about Atlas 3I? It's a giant, huge piece of rock that's headed our way, and it was in a galaxy far, far away, and it literally is streaming at us, and people are saying it's, it's a comet or a meteor or an asteroid or something like that. They
Yeah.
don't know what it is, but it doesn't have the right characteristics to it. So this is actually the path of where it's going and how it's
Mhm.
traveling right now. It's supposed to be here in November now. Now they're saying November, which is interesting. But what was really interesting is that in that entire process, they literally someone came up with all the calculations that it came, this thing came out of the constellation Sagittarius. That's how it was
Right.
reported. Okay, where the WoW signal came out of. But they're missing up. It's not the constellation Sagittarius that it came out in. It's Sagittarius A, which is the galactic center, which is the black
supermassive
hole.
black hole. Yeah.
Right. So what's really interesting about that, and I was asking my buddy about it, I'm like, could it have traveled and figured out a way to transverse a black hole? And if it did that, it could be anything at this point. So it's pretty interesting you were saying about what you were saying about Jesus and the Son, and what would that be in the grand scheme of things?
Mm-hmm.
Is that all part of the Son and his children? So if you have the Sun as the lead, then all the planets are children, all the stars are living children, and we're just diverse.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Or maybe that's why they named them after like those Greek and Roman gods, because they actually are like gods
Like
with the
those
capital
Greek-
with the lowercase g. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, when you asked me earlier if I believe in God or if I'm a God-fearing man, I actually do believe in God, like the God of the Bible, but I
Right.
also believe that those other gods are real too. I'm not saying that they're on the same level, but I'm saying like Zeus and
existence.
Odin, I
Yeah.
actually think there's a spiritual entity out there, whatever that may be or whatever its nature is, because even the Bible in like Psalms like 82, it mentions like that other gods are real. The Bible never says those other gods don't exist. It just says don't worship them.
Yeah, the counterfeit
Yeah.
council.
Yeah, it
Right.
doesn't say it. It says don't worship false idols, but it never says that the other gods aren't real. As a matter of fact, if you look at some of the texts in Psalms, it actually seems to acknowledge that they're real. They're just not on the same level as the Judeo-Christian God.
Yeah, I mean, even in in the Old Testament, there is no God above me. I am the true God, which means that there are. At one point, someone made a choice.
Yeah.
Now, some people will tell you about the different Anunnaki and the ones that try to help us. We were created by them, whatever.
And
And they wanted to enlighten us and make us better. But the other Anunnaki were like, no, there are trained monkeys.
yeah, you
And
were
we were
made
supposed
in
to be slaves.
our image.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting. I think when you pass from this life in the meat suit into the next life or into the afterlife, I think you'll know the true answers at that point. And some people have seen Jesus in the afterlife. I've had, I'm not going to get into it again, but there's dreams and experiences. Experiences are, you actually experienced it. I've been up to the Akash record. I got caught, told I can't go further. And it was really interesting building to be in.
Mm.
It looked like, Greek and Roman architecture with the Doric, Ionic, and Corinthian columns. And it just kept going and going and going with the center area that was almost like alive, like a light that was alive. And then as you approach, it was like rows and rows of books of old manuscripts. I mean, it's like old leather bound. And when there was one open, and if you go up to the one that's open, what happens is you start to see things in it. It just appears. It's almost very Harry Potter-esque. Before there was a Harry Potter, by the way, I've seen this.
Yeah.
and there's like it looks like a flame that goes around the outline of the letter as it's appearing. It's really bizarre. And I got a tap like, you got to go, can't be here,
Yeah.
not now. And so I went out
Is this a
and
dream?
no, this was an experience.
Oh,
People will say it's a dream, but I could literally destroy. I can tell you in detail of what this building looked like. It started out, I was on a plateau, top of a marble top of a building with stairs in front of it. And if you walk down these stairs, it could have looked like a Roman, like the Parthenon or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You go down it, and then you get to a terrace that had beautiful grass. And then you walk up another one, get to another area, and you can see, if I go one more, like journey through to the left, I'd have to go up and down these little things to get to that building. I knew that was the Akash record.
Mm.
And ahead of me were other buildings, and I saw beings dressed in what looked like robes, like togas for the most part. A male, someone that looked like a male, someone that definitely looked like a female, and the lighting was really weird. It was almost like clouds around me and a bluish color of the sky, and it was super bright, but it was LED bright because I have LEDs in front of me, and it's bright, but I can stare at it, and I'm not going to go blind looking at it. I can look directly at it, even at the bright white. And there was this total feeling of, it was just an incredible feeling. It was like, when I woke up from that, it happens when you sleep. It was an experience. I can go into every detail of those books. I can see what the bindings look like. And the lights, as you get closer to something, light just appears. As it, like, we have lights on because it's like a light turning on. Is it the true Akash record, or was I in a craft? You know what I'm saying? It didn't look like extraterrestrials, but it felt like I was outside. It felt that it was really a great place to be. I was disappointed when I woke up. I'm like, ah, crap, I'm not there.
Yeah, I know that feeling. Yeah.
I mean, it's like some really, really great, experiences, or you know.
Did Craig serve you beef Wellington or something he made?
No, Craig didn't serve me any food that night, so he didn't slip me anything. If that's what you're implying, like, how are the mushrooms? Well, they're great. But I have these all the time. I mean, I had an interaction with Jesus himself, Yeshua, and that was the strangest one. I'm not going to go into it because I did go into it on another interview, and people are like, "Oh my God, that's blasphemy," and whatever. And I literally was helping him, and people say, "Oh, Jesus doesn't need your help," and I'm like, "That's where you went wrong." If one of
fossils.
if it not, but
Can
the
I-
whole thing with him, he didn't stand up.
Can I
None
give
of
you
them
guys
stood-
my interpretation of the other side or the spiritual world?
Please do, because
Okay.
I would, I miss
Here's my
Craig,
version
too.
of it.
He was on the other night,
And this is something that I miss dearly, but do you guys definitely remember in the 80s and 90s they had something called video arcades?
God, I
Right.
miss this. I miss that. a lot.
There were no windows. They
Yep.
were noisy. They were dark. Now, that's how I imagine the spiritual world to be like. It's like going into this giant video arcade, same kind of atmosphere. Now, people walk in. Some people go in to browse around to see what game. They don't know what game they want to play. They're just in there to just take in the atmosphere, and they want to see what catches their eye. Other people are obsessed with this one game. They get their quarters and they march right over to that game that they've been thinking about all goddamn day to play, right?
It's Pac-Man.
We've all been there at some point in our lives, right? Okay. So we walk into the video arcade, we get our quarters, we walk up to the machine of our choosing, we pop in that quarter, and all of a sudden the game starts and you're this character. Congratulations. That is the incarnation, right? When the game starts,
Right.
your incarnation is born, and then when you die, the game is over. And then you step away from that arcade machine, you're like, God damn, that was a crazy ass game. Let's try that game over there now, right? See, our incarnations, right? Our lives here, if we picture like a video game like my previous illustration, right?
Right.
Then our souls is not what's contained in our body. Our souls are actually the whatever consciousness that is outside in the arcade that's decided to pop in the quarter and to start playing the video game that is our lives, right? And then when the game is over, they walk away and they take their quarter and they put it in another machine and then they start playing that game. Now, what Jesus is in that illustration is, imagine now you're in a video arcade and you know how like in all those old school arcades, they would always have the high scores if no one's playing on them.
Right.
You see the same damn guy at number one on top of all the high scores, on top
He's
of
the
all
high
the
scorer.
leaderboards. And you're like, that son of a bitch. Who is this guy that got like 5 million points on this game? What the hell? And then you realize he's got 5 million points on like every single game. You're like, who is this dude? This guy's killing it, right?
Yeah. It's a good analogy. It's interesting. I mean, a lot of people think this is a simulation of or a video game.
People say simulation. I correct them when I say video game. It's a little bit different. In that video game, simulation is meant to run to figure out or to learn or to get some kind of insight. Whereas a video game is you have a benchmark to clear. You have a certain score that you want to achieve. There's success and there's failure. And to me, the score in a video game, back to that analogy, is karma.
That's karma, your score?
Yeah. Because if you suck at life, if you're a bad person, you know, and if you're just screwing up left and right, or if you're causing a lot of bad deeds or bad thoughts, or you're just bad spiritually, that's bad karma.
That's okay. I mean, that does work. It's just what does the quarters represent? You know, the money.
The quarters
doesn't matter.
represents the soul's decision to incarnate at a specific time and place, right? Like, because I am a firm believer, I am a Buddhist, and I am a firm believer in reincarnation. I have my own experiences with that, like my own, I guess, visions.
Right.
And you know, our soul decides, you know, it's got a set predetermined path or blueprint or a general idea of how that life is going to play out, right?
Right.
And once it incarnates, that's the moment that we pop that quarter in the machine, decide to play that game.
Well, that would mean that Mark had an interesting couple of weeks. So I had, to say the least. We both. I mean, he has a couple stents in him now. So I guess I lost one of my gaming lives at that point. So now I'm down to two.
Or you got to the end of a certain level, and that's the boss of that level that you had to defeat.
Oh yeah. So did I win or did I lose?
Well, I'm just now that things are kind of looking up for me. Like the next level is hanging with Donny.
Yeah.
Oh, I could take this analogy even further. Now, angels in this analogy, they are okay. Now let's take it from the space of our video arcades, and let's take it to the space of like an online game.
Right.
All right. You know how online games are done on servers, right? Like these online shooters or these huge RPGs, right?
Right.
The angels in this analogy are the system moderators. Okay. Now, ghosts are like the glitches. Like when the game glitches out.
Right.
Like when your character dies, but then there's a glitch and then like a piece of it is still running in the game. That's like a ghost. Demons in this analogy are pissed off former moderators who are pissed off at their former employer, and now they're in the game to kind of fuck with it.
That's crazy. That's great.
And then extraterrestrials are hackers from an outside server who are hacking into our game and messing around. See, I thought this through. I thought this very carefully through.
So where did the other gods come into play? Are they just different boss fights?
I would say like, you know how like, yeah. So I'd say like if Jesus is like number one on the leaderboard, And then you always see Buddha as number 2. Like Jesus got like 10 million points, and then Buddha might have like 6 million points, but he's
Right.
always number 2.
It's interesting.
Yeah, and the other gods might be like the managers of the arcade employees, the janitors who have to mop up all that bubble gum off the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, or the guys that are working at the concession stand.
I think we have a bunch of people here who remember
Yeah.
video arcades. I remember when they came out.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
I remember going to Nathan's up in Yonkers, New York with my grandfather. And the famous hot dog place. Not the one on Coney Island. They had one in Yonkers, and it was huge. And we got food. And in the back were all these different video games.
Mm-hmm.
So they had it just had one wall back, facing each other of pinball machines. I love pinball machines.
Yeah.
And then they had this Sub Hunter thing that was a periscope, and they had a couple of driving games. I mean, it was just so much fun.
Yeah.
And it was a quarter,
Yeah.
and it was great. We spent hours there. And what was great about it is, I mean, like for Miss Pac-Man, I just used to kill it. It was all pattern based. So
people were obsessed with that. I know people were obsessed with that game back in the day.
Yeah, it was pretty obsessed. I mean, Asteroids, that was pretty damn good.
Frogger.
Frogger. Yep.
Oh, and the Bible in this analogy is the strategy guide, like Nintendo Power. Like, remember those magazines you got in the day that have all the tips and all the maps and the secret codes?
Yeah, I used to buy strategy game when I used to play. I still have like a stack of video games that have not been opened. I wanted to play them, but as I had kids, they didn't have dad mode. Like they had easy, medium, hard, medium, and whatever.
Yeah.
And they needed dad mode, which was a quicker mode. Energy Shift to talk to Atari. Let me tell you something. When that game system came out, it was about $500. And
factor in inflation, that's a lot of money.
That's like a $1,500 gift.
Yeah.
It was no joke. And it didn't come. I think it came, I don't remember if it came with a game or not. It may have come with Pong or something like that. Maybe. And those cartridges were $25, $30.
That's going way back.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was, but man, oh man, you would sit there, and just play, and you break joysticks. You see the new thing, if you go to like Walgreens or CVS or usually a drugstore, they have every Atari game, 2600, in one of those joysticks. You just plug that into your TV and you can play every game. I remember Dig Dug. So many good fucking games. Tapper. Then the Street Fighter came in.
Fatality.
Got to put it in there. And that was the Sony. Is it Sony or Nintendo? Whoever got the name of the guy that created it, but that was the scrolling one. It was one-dimensional scroll, and you fought. Like whatever it
Kung
was.
Fu, yeah.
It was all Kung Fu related. Yeah. Kind of like at one point, I remember trying to play God of War on the PlayStation.
Yes,
I wanted to look up. I wanted to change my view, and I couldn't do it because it was linear.
Everything was static. Yeah,
it was so frustrating.
Yeah.
And then you get the computer games like Doom. I don't know if anybody's ever played the original Doom on their PC. That gray wall that you were running through, and after a while, you're like, I'm gonna throw up. It just messed with your sight. But yeah, I miss that. I miss those days because I didn't have problems and I have fucking heart attacks and we didn't have to worry about stents and life was good. The only thing you had to worry about is, if you had a problem at school or you didn't do too good. Doom was great, Nathan. Yeah, Doom was good. And then once they went online, that was really cool too. When you're playing video games with each other I mean, one of the best games I've ever played in my life. Have you ever played a video game that you actually literally called out of work or called in sick to play the game because it was that good? I'm not kidding. I kid you not when I say that. I know people that would do it. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? You go to your job. He goes, dude, this game's so great. And I'm like, I couldn't believe it. Lost sound. Is my sound coming through?
No, I hear you fine.
Yeah. Laura said lost sound. That's why I just nope. Go check your I don't think so. If anybody else lost sound, please, put it in the chat.
Yeah.
But I used to have I didn't play World of Warcraft because I got you that would there was like that was days of shit. That was when it really started getting like
Yeah, that becomes like crack. I don't mess with those kinds of games.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I had the original Xbox. I remember ordering it prior and going into these stores and they're like, do you have the Xbox yet? I want to put my name on. They're like, what is an Xbox? They had no idea what it was. And when it came out, but I had it and I got Xbox Magazine, and in Xbox Magazine, they would give you a demo game sometimes, a couple of levels, and tell you about different things and little videos. It was fucking great. And I played a game called The Suffering, which happens to be, it was a horror-based game, and the lead character was the first Black lead character in video game history. And it was so good and creepy and great. I had to finish the damn game. And I called in sick for 2 days. 2 fucking days to play a video game. It was insane. I couldn't believe I did it. I felt so ashamed of myself. But I mean, some of them were really good. The online components were I thought Munch's Odyssey was a great game on Xbox. Where he would fart, here we go. Yeah. That's actually from Munch's Odyssey. That's the fart from Munch's Odyssey. And that was a great game. And the graphics were so beautiful. Like it was realistic. Another one of my favorite was Mercenaries, where you had to go into North and South.
The top-down one, yeah, I know that one.
And then when shit was popping off, this freaked people out. We're all hanging out, and there was something going on in North Korea, some kind of uprising. Bad idea. And they were in Pyongyang, and they went down a street like they were being chased, and like people were like, they're never going to get out of there. And I'm like, no fucking way. They just got to make a left at the next block, and it goes right out into the mountains. And lo and behold, they did that. And everybody's like, when the fuck have you gone to Korea? I knew the entire map of North Korea like the back of my hand because of the mercenary games.
So did you put in an application for working for the
State Department?
Yeah, Department of Defense.
No. But people, when that's when I got a lot more respect for video games, because these guys are literally taking real world maps and then shading them and digitizing them. Like you said, this is all a digital experience, and every square inch of it is mapped. And I think I got to be honest, because of the fact it was North Korea with who's the number one, Kim Jong-il or Un?
Kim Jong-un is the one that's currently running it.
Oh, so his dad,
Kim Jong-il.
Yeah. And I think that this is where the government gets involved in shit. I think they purposely make these games in the event there's a conflict. You literally are in the city, where everything runs and how it works. And they're psychologically using you in the video game. But best story ever played in a video game was oh my god, I keep losing the name of the game. It's a 3-game series, but BioShock.
BioShock, yeah, that was up there story wise. In my opinion, the greatest story of a video game ever told. Probably, in my opinion, the greatest video game ever made. Red Dead Redemption 2. But that's my
Okay,
opinion.
so I played a little bit of Redemption
Mhm.
just when I was kind of working, so I could never really. But everybody talks and points to 2 as a great
2 is a
follow-up.
masterpiece. It's a
Yeah.
masterpiece. Probably one of the greatest video games ever made by anyone ever.
Yeah, dear leader, the
Yeah.
supreme leader of. Yeah, it was when Trump went into North Korea. I knew exactly where he went, and I'm saying like what happened, and I'm like, oh, that's by blah 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 blah, and people are looking at me like, are you like a spy or something? I'm like, no, it's video games, dude. This is great. I mean, like, this is what we
Yeah.
should be doing.
Yeah.
This whole thing. I want to take everybody that's in the island of Misfit Toys and make them
Mhm.
into a video game.
Yeah.
Playable characters. No, I want to be Donny Cho.
There's enough of us. There's
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
enough of us, yeah. You
Who
should
would
do
you
like a
like?
panel show and just get all of us on one day.
Well, I'm trying to do that, but
Yeah.
I mean, the problem is text works Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or something like that. So he can't.
Yeah, he's
come
got a
to
weird
work.
schedule, yeah.
I mean, I would consider getting everybody on.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do. I think that would be a great idea. I mean, but I don't want to eliminate people. But I want to get you guys on because you guys are throwing the, BMR and Krista and Brandy and all you guys are
Mm-hmm.
really the hosts of the Crossing Realms conference, and and it's total support for you guys. You've always been. All you guys are great. You're like real people and good people and family. Like, Mark's hooked. And you've always been good, great, and they're wonderful individuals, and I'd be more than happy to support. And that's what I said to him when I was talking about coming. I said, I'm here to work with you. I
Yeah.
want to be going into the Crossing Realms with the Walker. There's today when I was getting my animal bag, whatever. I want it to be really successful, so there is a return, so you guys can make a bit from it.
Yeah, I'm just looking
Help
forward to
train
hanging out
people.
with everyone, man. You know
Me
what I
too.
mean? Like, I'm looking forward. The thing I'm looking forward to the most, more than the conference itself, is that pre-party. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's
Oh
gonna
my
be a magical night.
It is.
It's
I
gonna be
just got to
magical.
figure out.
Yeah.
We got to Uber our asses over to that because driving is going to be probably tough.
Oh, you could crash there if you need. There'll be space.
I have the hotel and
It's
stuff
a
like
beautiful
that.
ranch area, and there's people who are actually setting up camping area, and there's good squatch in there, like cryptid stuff. So you might
Yeah.
actually want to bring your car there and crash out.
I mean, I could do that.
Donny, where do you think the study of cryptids is going? I'm I think over the last few
Mm-hmm.
years I've gotten more interested in the cryptids, some more of the Pleistocene animals.
Yeah.
Um, w- w- um, I think it's what do the fossils from some of the locations where maybe large amounts of prehistoric animals were being found.
Mm-hmm.
What that's some of the ideas that are moving me forward with my interests. But where are you seeing cryptid studies going?
That's a question I often ask myself a lot because it really depends on it. It depends on the next generation, right?
Yeah.
Like I guess the future researchers, right? Or the people who are actually, the big names in the field, right, Brian? The ones who are the actual respected names in the field, right?
Yeah.
like BMR.
Like where's the young generation? Where are the young people? Is there a good crop of young researchers coming up? Like young people, like Gen Z people who are coming up as cryptid researchers? Because I'm noticing a lot of old people in this field. I mean, no disrespect to anyone, but
Yeah, I don't see many of them. There's a lot of young people skeptics
mhm. I do think
asking
that
questions more so than like their idea of going actually into the wood, they actually doing something and getting away from this electronic
yeah,
device is preventing them from actually doing it.
Yeah, I
There
think that's
yeah,
a
are
problem.
few people that
yeah.
are doing it. And you're right, it's not, but
I don't see a lot of young people in this field. There's not
no,
enough.
no.
Yeah, that was probably where I started off as a little kid,
Hmm.
just really enjoying uh reading books with my aunt, dinosaur books, and
Yeah.
going out in the woods. But that was also in the early 70s. Um, I got I never lost the interest. I just got really sidetracked with some work or some other things.
Hmm.
Just growing up related. Now that I just kind of started working with some other people for the this book series I'm working on. I kind of came back to the same topic later in life, but I never lost the interest. It just meeting a few of the right people. Uh, you know, they're insightful. They gave me some pointers, and it was like, oh wow, I just just r- r- um reliving it with
Yeah.
new insight, new eyes. Reinvigorated me more than the first time around.
I think to your question about the future of cryptid research, I think it's really anything goes because, like I had mentioned earlier, there's not as many young people, but maybe a lot of those young people haven't had an experience yet. Because for a lot of the people in this field, they have their experience first, and then they get into the research part, right?
Right.
So a lot of these people, like I said, because they're so young, they haven't had that experience yet, and maybe they will. One a positive side though that I can point to is that topic thanks to like shows like this and I think there's a growing media attention subculture media like YouTube channels. But thanks to these kinds of shows, the conversation of Bigfoot and Dogman and other cryptids is becoming more mainstream or more commonly accepted by the common person.
So so the future is, and this is where I think that people they know about it, but a lot of people are just that's where their opinion is. They're not going to leave their cell phone or whatever to go look for it. When they have an experience, then they research something. I
Then
was
they
so
get
this
obsessed with
giant
it.
hairy
Yeah.
person, but the difference between these cryptids and the strange stuff, and let's say dinosaurs that you mentioned, is you can go to certain places in this country and around the world and actually see a dinosaur footprint or bones or see
Right.
them uncovering a T-Rex
Right.
literally buried under the ground. There is no physical proof. There are footprints, but they're very rare. And then people, there's been people faking them. You need to literally have someone get a Bigfoot and make it public somehow. So people go, I'm going to go looking for one of these too. And that's when the research will be born,
Uh,
Right.
because, and it's not going to be because they want to get a Bigfoot and like, they're gonna look. I want to be the first one to put one on YouTube or my Facebook page. That's all they care about, the notoriety, not discovering this.
Yeah, there is Stegi, the Stegosaurus. Is it like a medallion that's carved in one of the pillars and some
Where is that?
Asian
Are you talking about like in Gobekli Tepe where they
no,
discovered that one thing where it looked like a stegosaurus?
well, it's I think Göbekli Tepe has a few samples of extinct animals.
Yeah.
There's one in boy, I just can't think of the name of the
I'll look it up for you right now.
there it it's an what the uh, uh religious house was built in like 10th century or something like that. But
The
there's
dinosaur of Top Chrome is what I think is what you're referring to.
it
It was
looks
in the Khmer Empire, yeah.
okay. It's in
Cambodia.
okay. I'm sorry. I just couldn't think of the name.
Yeah.
But it's an accurate depiction of a stegosaurus in like just say 1000 AD.
Mm-hmm.
How many stegosauruses had been unearthed by that time? So were they still roaming around? So is that enough
That's like
proof?
Makebi Mabumbo.
Wokili Membi?
Yeah, kills.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
The one I mentioned is a basketball player.
Yeah.
But from probably the same era, anyhow. And there may very well
Very
be
much,
some of these things walking around still.
yeah. See, and I think that's one of the really neat things about cryptids and kind of like what I was where I was coming from, where I'm like getting back into it after like a 50 some year hiatus, and it's seeing it more like with uh a childlike eyes. And it's like, wow,
Yeah.
this is really cool. And like get all the sailback lizards that there was one just found a couple miles down the street, and all the other huge cryptid or like uh megafauna walking around in just not too far from my neighborhood. So it's I think that's where I'm coming from, is just the awe that these
Yep.
animals create. I it does concern me about people sitting there all day with you're only dealing with 8 inches.
Yeah.
You're not looking
Not
out.
the size, Mark. It's not the size. Let's not go there.
Okay, well, I don't know. I was, was hoping to have Johnny Holmes as a guest on my
Sure.
other show, but I had you and Ron on instead.
Sorry. Wow.
I'm
Talk
sure
about
a lot of other
backhanded,
people
like
are
insult. Like wanted
very-
Johnny Mars, but I just got you and Ron instead. Like, wow, well, fuck you very much, Marky. We could actually it's Donny Cho says stuff on YouTube. We're like over the time, and I don't want to keep Donnie. We're 10:01, and that is a portal, by the way. If you're following the numbers, we can get into that at a later date. But I don't want to keep Donnie long because he's got a lot of planning to do.
Yeah.
He's got to get up at work and do all that stuff. but I'd love to have you back on. And I
Yeah,
think
I'd
you
love to
should
be
have
back.
Mark Eddie on your show and talk like
Yeah,
shit.
I gotta get you guys on my show too. We gotta set that
Yeah.
up.
We'll set
Yeah.
it up. Let's do it after the conference because after this conference between driving there and all this other stuff, I am so looking forward to it. I'm bringing extra aspirin.
It's gonna be a fun time.
It's gonna be, as the
Yeah.
kids say, lit. Yeah. And then I pissed off my kids by singing. My daughter's boyfriend said it's scabatti. That's how the freshmen in high school are saying. That's very scabatti. And they're pronouncing skibbity, right? And when I use that term, if you want to see my daughters go, oh my God. No, I usually like, yeah. But I appreciate you being on, Donnie. I can't wait to be there and drink some. I don't know what you're drinking, but I'm drinking rum. I'm drinking a lot of
Yeah,
rum.
we'll see. We'll
We
see.
may take
when we get
over
there.
another conference at the end of it.
It's gonna be a fun time. It's gonna be epic.
Yeah, please come. Eventbrite's where the tickets are at. It's in Richmond, Missouri. And
Yep.
once you
Richmond,
go
Missouri.
Mo, you don't go
Yep.
anyplace else. And you get to see Donny Cho and Brandy and Krista and BM Mar and Paranormal Paul and Brent Thomas and Monica and
Tex.
Teen and Tex and everybody. And it's going to be fun. And I'm doing a whole thing on cryptids, and I'm going to piss people off in the whole community because I'm doing a Donny
Nice.
Cho.
Nice.
I don't give a fuck what people say. And it's going to be fun. So, and like I said before, Mark, thank you very much for being alive. Donnie, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having
if you
me.
wanna hang out in the back. If you want to go, you can go. But I always end
I
it
can hang
with,
out for a bit in the back.
yeah, I'm going to play my outro song that I wrote. Thank you all for being in there. Thank you for your comments, T-Bone. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody in there, Energy Shifter, and all the new people coming in, and the old people, and then it's just like you really have become the Third Eye Tribe, and Yata Hey, blessings to you all. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be doing it, and that's why it's all about you.
You, it's always been you. God showed me you. I have been searching decades for you. I found you, I lost you. My heart is broken without you. My soul aches for you. I need you, I want you. My days are filled with you. I've seen the future with you. My home is with you. I have felt the future with you. My nights are filled with you. Love is you. True love is you. My happiness is you. Every past life is with you. My dreams are filled with you. Life is meaningless without you. My future is with you. I will fight for you. I will defend you. I will give up my life for you. Whatever it takes for you. Nothing else matters but you. I love you. I love you. I love you. God showed me you. I have been searching decades for you. I found you, I lost you. My heart is broken without you. My soul aches for you. I need you, I want you. My days are filled with you. I have seen the future with you. My home is with you. I have felt the future with you. My nights are filled with you. Love is you, true love is you. Love is you, true love is you. My happiness is you. Every past life is with you. My dreams are filled with you. Life is meaningless without you. My future is with you. I will fight for you. I will defend you. I will give up my life for you. Whatever it takes for you. Nothing else matters but you. I love you. I love you. Life is meaningless without you. My future is with you.